Wählen Sie das Foto, das Sie erregt. Wenn Sie wissen, was ich meine.
I will sleep with anyone as long as they agree to be executed in the morning.
Evening, my fellow Joker moviegoers. Welcome back to another video. Today we will be discussing something that I have been thinking about for at least a week now. And it's concerning this, I'm moving to this side, hence to this side. These girls. You know that meme where this girl is like in her ultra pink t-shirt which says daddy and she has her tongue out and she has like a choker on it. Yeah, those types of girls, that type of demographic. We're gonna discuss them. And while males or certain males find them attractive or hyper attractive compared to normal females, let's say, or females which look kind of average or casual, right? You know, there are many groups of men at this point at the internet, each preferring their own kind of like God vision of what a woman should look like, right? They're the clean living kings, or as I like to call them, who prefer the other meme, the girl with the like dress and long hair, and she's like this ultra church Bible study girl. Then there is the red pillars that just go for the booty and the boobs.
He had no problem whatsoever hitting on the undercover officer on the audio tape, trying to pick her up and saying, "Girl, you're thicker than a bowl of oatmeal."
Which, the girl which has the biggest of them, preferably both of them, wins the race for some reason. And then there is that entire demographic of men that just are hyper attracted to these types of females, the ones showed previously from the meme. And you have to wonder, why is that? Why is that? And that has been bothering me for quite some time, and I think I finally found the answer. So, not so while ago, the song Scott Pilgrim vs. the World Ruined a Whole Generation of Women, I think most of you know it, came out, and it was pretty much addressing the elephant in the room. It was pretty much addressing this phenomena of these girls dressing up, acting quirky, and trying to be different, but at the same time remaining all the same. And I know a couple of these girls myself, or I have at least met with them at some point in their lives. And I can say that some of the stereotypes stick, right? The colored hair, obnoxious clothes, this very quirky things, citing memes often. It's not something naturally bad. I'm just saying it's kind of interesting to watch that this demographic of women which claims to be very independent and not like the other girls, it actually ends up being just like the other girls. That's kind of funny to me. But the question is not what makes the demographic a demographic. The question is more what makes the demographic attractive to a certain group of males. And I would dare to undertone that with that these group of males are usually those sexually frustrated males. Not to make fun of anybody, right? We all have issues, but it's usually that demographic that is sort of like attracted to those females or likes to look at them. That's why I think the e-girls are the visual representation of these, right? Look at Belle Delphine. She's basically all the stereotypes out of the Scott Pilgrim clip. She's basically she's got the color hair, quirky acting, yada yada yada. We can make up the rest. And all of these Ramona wannabes, they seem to be all over the internet, and they seem to get quite the popularity that, raises the question, what makes them more attractive? I know I asked this a couple of times, and now I promise I'll answer, I'll deliver. Now, I have taken up reading during the summer, and one of the first books that I have ever read was The 48 Laws of Power. It's one of those jewels of the library that you just have to kind of have, that you have to just kind of read in order to be, educated or at least know about it. It's one of those books that is suggested on a few lists and it's gained quite the popularity. So I just thought, what do I have to lose? I'll stop reading if it doesn't, if I don't like it. And I actually kind of enjoyed the book. It was pretty nice. It was nicely written, and I like the writing style and way how the author sort of uses historical stories and then comments on them with his laws. That was pretty interesting. And then so I looked on the internet, like what else has the author written? So I could, I don't know, read another book, because I actually really dig the author. And one of the first books I came across was The Art of Seduction. And I was like, okay, So after a few Tor searches, I managed to find the full audiobook of the book. I downloaded it into my computer, and while playing GTA 4, I started listening to it. Now, the book itself I thought would be about how to get females. I thought the author is falling for the good old MGTO W and Red Pill trap, but no, the author actually offered pretty good insight on how seduction works. I think that's how I would describe it, because many people, when I say seduction, would probably imagine like how to seduce a woman, but it is generally speaking about how seduction works on both sides, or how generally speaking people get seduced, right? It's not a how-to step guide on how to get a girl in a club. It's probably, again, just taking historical stories, analyzing them, and applying some general rules to them. One of the stories that boggled me, or bothered me, not really bothered, but, just stick to my mind, was the one of Cleopatra, and how she managed to seduce Caesar. So if you didn't know the story, Cleopatra was struggling because some bullshit in Egypt, and she decided that Rome will help her. But, you cannot just walk up to Rome and start saying like, yeah, guys, help Egypt. So she decided to seduce the most powerful man there, that being Caesar at the time. So what she did is, by the story, I'm not saying this is true, she rolled herself up in an ancient carpet from Egypt, right? And she had her slaves carry her all the way to Rome in that fucking carpet. I don't know how that works, but whatever. So she came to Rome, and apparently speaking, as the carpet unveiled itself in front of Caesar, like those people just came and threw it on the ground and spin it. Cleopatra just kind of stood up from the carpet. Based on some stories, she was fully nude. Based on some stories, she was just topless. Based on some stories, she had a dress. Whatever. She managed to seduce Caesar because he was like, wow, what a wonderful female. Wow. And, Cleopatra managed to win the influence she wanted in Egypt, and therefore becoming the queen or pharaoh. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, she became a very powerful woman based on this one move. Now, the author goes on and to analyze, like, what happened. Because Caesar, as he is, in the history books, often regarded as a very kind of like rational man. And most people romanticize him, I hope I said that right, to that certain extent. They hold him up to those standards. So why was this man so easily seduced by a common girl from Egypt? What did she have that Caesar sort of like missed? And what did she do that Caesar kind of like didn't see why she was using him? Her only thing why she was using Caesar was to gain back power in Egypt. That was her only goal. And Caesar didn't see it. I think he actually thought she loved him, right? So that's pretty weird, coming from a guy who is supposed to be rational and strong, that he can be seduced by a female so easily. Now, that comes actually back to the e-girls. And I was thinking a lot when this e-girl thing started, when this Ramona wannabe love story started with most of these men. And when I realized that at what point it all began, I think I understood everything. And I'm going to get back to the Caesar story. Hold on to that. And we're going to explain. It's going to be like a big wrap up. And at the end of the video, you're going to just be like, wow, oh my God. You're going to be just like me, when I first realized this. So remember the time when Suicide Squad came out and everybody was fangirling about Margot Robbie playing Harley Quinn? Yeah. I think that was the first Ramona wannabe that we ever got. That was the first e-girl, that first meme girl from the template, with the pink shirt and daddy written on her. Even her fucking shirt, even the shirt of Margot Robbie or Harley Quinn in that movie had Daddy's Little Monster, I think, written on it, right? So again, she fulfilled every single archetype. Plus, on top of that, Margot Robbie is a stunning woman. She's very pretty. So, you have a very pretty woman suddenly playing this quirky fantasy that most males want. It was an insane amount of men just talking about how she's hot in that movie, right? I don't think some people even watched the movie for the actual movie. They just kind of came there to see Margot Robbie and hoped for a nipple shot or two. I think that was the main goal that some of the men were striving to see in that movie. But anyways, Harley Quinn, or at least in that movie, is the exact embodiment of the meme. She's quirky, she is crazy, she doesn't give a shit about anybody, she wears obnoxious and weird clothing, she is like this comedic relief, in big quotation marks, during these scenes of tension when everybody is serious and shooting some monsters. She's just like that, oh, I'm gonna get this Gucci bag. And it's supposed to be like, haha, funny moment, female funny, but it's not actually funny. It's not that funny. Okay, a little bit, but not that much. And yeah, that's the interesting part. How many people were actually like getting wet over her being that certain character? A beautiful girl with these qualities, essentially speaking. So what does Caesar and Cleopatra? What does Harley Quinn? And what does Belle Delphine and the modern e-girls have to do with all of this?